Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the adventures of the 11th Ornament. Or welcome back, I should say. Very excited to meet with the party this week as they um, embark from the Moonshay Islands for the first time, kind of stepping forth into the Sword Coast proper for the very first time since they embarked for Chult, so many moons ago. Having wrapped up that quest for their ally Obe in the Moonshay Islands and inadvertently started an entirely different chaotic problem that they are now facing. Their adventures are bringing them back to the Sword Coast. So, we are going to jump into a brief recap here of the last couple of sessions before jumping into tonight's game. I haven't done this in a while, so I feel obligated to say that I just go over kind of our legal stuff. So, thank you to Foundry VTT. That's the platform that we work on, that we play on, and all the incredible artists, composers, and asset makers who make Foundry just such a all-encompassing system on which to play D&D across vast distances. All of my maps are produced by either Wizards of the Coast, officially published material, or an incredible pair of artists called Che and Peku, whom you can find on Patreon. They have an incredible suite of maps that are all immaculately put together. We use Hero Forge for all of our character art. We use a lot of the character art that isn't player characters, NPCs, is from Magic the Gathering, Wizards of the Coast published material, or art of that kind. And yeah, and a lot of the story content that we are playing is homebrew by yours truly, but there are dovetails of a fair number of different adventuring modules that I kind of pick pieces out of to kind of shove in here and there to kind of flesh out the plot. So, all that being said, it's been a while since we had been over that, so I don't know why in any event, let's go ahead and get into tonight's episode of the 11th Ornament, and we will start with a recap. If you won't mind, Jerry.
Do you want me to do a recap of the last two sessions?
Yeah.
Is Sid's mic ringing in Skype for anyone else, or is it just me?
Is it ringing, you said?
Yeah, there's like a...
There's
under,
ambient sound, yeah.
Is that coming through in the stream?
No.
Huh.
I double-checked that to make sure, but yeah, it's...
So this is going back to AT session 41. This was the 15th day of Uktar. So we had been fighting a Baylor, of which we defeated, only to leave the Baylors where the Baylor was dwelling to find out that the person who let us in is in fact also a demon or possessed by one himself. We proceeded to kill him and then left the host's body after we tried to heal him, but we realized that he may still not survive. And we returned back to Chult. Upon returning to Chult, we learn about a so we go back to the Black Cat Inn and we find there's a tabaxi there, and the tabaxi's name is Red Clay. He actually was one of the musicians that played at the Grand Soak, and he was hired to work there to replace Jim.
Yes.
Then the party proceeds to gaslight Alucard, misnaming each type of alcohol, which was really mean of them.
Because he can't partake.
Because he can't partake and not
At this
partake
time.
of alcohol for like the next 7 days. Alucard then meets a human Chultan woman to spend the evening with, as he typically does, before returning to the Black Cat Inn. Then we have a long race and we level up.
Indeed. You guys did level up to level 12 last session, I believe.
The next day, we Esfeld contacted us to let us know that she's at Caer Callidare and we can meet her. Obe cast Windwalk and transport via plants on us, and we realized that the overgrowth has spread to the island off the coast of northern Snowdown. So, what's his name? About to call him Caecilius. Cernunnos. Cernunnos is making his way to Alaron, basically. We make it to Caer Callidare, get into the palace, and we partake of their snacks and food before we meet with Esfel.
Yes.
And Bell gets coordinates for Caer Callidare, Silvery Moon, and Candlekeep.
Yes.
I think that's all that happens, unless I'm missing something. I don't think Esfel had teleported us yet.
No, not quite yet. Yeah. So, last session, as you had had your druid friend Obe cast Windwalk on you, so that you could make your way across the Moonshays with the incredible speed of the clouds. And once again, you transported via plants to the well-known Druid Grove here on Snowdown. Once again, to find that the infection of incredibly rampant verdant growth, which has enveloped all of Snowdown, is actually spreading out and attempting to cross the sea. The great Titan Cernunnos, whom you awakened accidentally in the depths of Caer Westfall, brought forth back into this world for the first time in millennia, is marching northward towards Alaron, and the seat of political power for all of the folk of the Moonshay Islands, this capital city of Caer Callidare, where the Coral Throne sits and the palace rises high on the cliff sides of Whitefish Bay. These beautiful kind of white stone buildings fill the city and cascade down the hillside. Making your way there, and ultimately to the palace, where you did meet up with Esfel and King Darid Kendrick there to transport yourselves to Waterdeep. You had learned from an ally, actually Jim's alter ego, Pitak, that there are potential guides to the depths of the Underdark and the machinations of Drow society that you could hire or win over to aid you, living in Waterdeep, last he heard. They go by a secret name, the Bregan de Earth, who are male Drow that are fed up with the matriarchy and just the worshipping of Lolth, the Spider Queen in general, and have struck out to the surface to make their own way. You were warned they aren't necessarily good aligned. They aren't necessarily evil. They are Drow, but they are attempting to escape that stigma of what a dark elf is and what it means to be a dark elf. So, interested to see how your negotiations play out with them, if you're able to even get in touch with them. But in the interest therein, you are asking Esfel to teleport you to the city of Waterdeep, and that is where we left off. So, anybody have any questions? Nope. No. Awesome. We are going to take just a moment to await the remainder of our party. I think Cam is logging on.
You are so good at this.
Oh, do I say that almost every time that Jonathan actually shows up?
No.
But okay, Cameron's here now.
Cameron did, okay.
Hello, hang on. I'm trying to get my my headset to work. Give me just a minute.
Okay. Can you hear us?
I can, but it's not coming through my headset. It's coming through the iPad speaker. So give me a minute to pair my headset.
Okay. We're doing some fancy technology here. As a side note, and just to waste some
Maybe.
time.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that sounded great. I'm really looking forward to seeing all of you next weekend.
Yeah.
Me too.
1 weekend away. 1 week away. I'm not nervous or anything. Oh no, what has happened here?
Oh,
This is
can you see this?
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yeah.
Is it
amazing.
for you?
The whole
Oh, shit.
stream.
Bad. My bad.
All right. Okay. Well, I've solved how we're doing role play sessions from now on. We're all gonna be lecture style.
I
guess.
I promised you that I was playing around for it for Wednesday.
This is
All right.
incredible.
But should we be like in an amphitheater though? Apply.
Oh.
Even better. Wow.
Yeah, I could make
Forum
this
of
full
sorts.
screen. Yeah.
You made me really small.
Wait, but it's not. How-
It has to do with how close you are to your camera, Mason. So that's the way. Yeah. See. So you're.
How did I make it do that for? You're not making
Everyone?
it do it for me. Yeah.
I don't
still
know.
have the right. Is
I-
it because I went back in? Well, I don't understand.
I don't
Look
know
like you're
either,
sitting
buddy.
at
Wait,
top of
you're
hill,
not in the
Will.
amphitheater, the stone amphitheater right now, Will?
No, I'm looking at it the way we have been.
Oh, now we're in Super Mario or Minecraft or
I
something.
don't know how
Yeah.
to go to. I see that you changed the scene. I don't know how to go to that.
This is kind of trippy. I don't know how to not do it this way though either. Oh, together mode. Speaker view is what I want, I think.
Grid view is what we're
Speaker
doing.
Agreed.
That's what it looked like to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I always use
changed it.
speaker view because that's what
Okay.
puts whoever is speaking across from me on the.
Skype is weird. I apologize.
No,
I
you're
don't know
fine.
how to get out of this. Are you out of it, Sid?
Yeah.
I'm still in it.
Oh, so I sent you there, but it's weird that I sent you there, but I also
Grid view.
didn't take you out when I left.
Okay.
So, Cameron, we were just finishing the recap.
Oh, good.
So, so I hope you have a perfect recall and know exactly what's going on.
I do, yeah. We're going to Waterdeep. That's like the gist.
That is the gist of it. That is true. Yeah, so you guys had come to Caer Callidyrr to meet SL. You kind of took in the beautiful sights of the coral city and the palace. Yeah, you have made your way through the throne room at this point to the teleportation circle, which is off of the throne room. That's Chavis. Okay, cool. We're gonna have to do all this again in 30 seconds, so.
It did give me a chance. I did have a question that I meant to ask last week.
Mhm.
Were Merle and Elaine around when we got there at all, or could we have asked about them just
You
to see how they
could
were
have
doing?
asked about them, certainly.
Because last I saw her, she was still almost dead. She had not yet even fully recovered from that and was imprisoned. So
Yeah. Yeah, so if you were to ask, about them, there are a couple of guards who know that they are on medical leave. They arrived back with Esvel late last night and were immediately temporarily discharged from duty to relax and recuperate.
Good.
Just waiting on Chavis. I don't want to get to the point where we're explaining the arrival in Waterdeep and everything without everyone who's going to be here. Thanks for your patience, team. I'm
No
also kind of
problem.
talking to the internet, but
I apologize for being late this evening. Also,
So
Yeah, no worries.
disappointed. I don't know if I can find it in my heart to forgive you, Cameron.
well,
Ouch.
so be it.
Backfired on me.
Mason was telling us that Mimar just got to our house.
oh, fun.
Hello.
Hello!
Hi.
I have made it.
That is wonderful.
Sorry for the delay. But Skype had to be shown a lesson, to be honest with you. It really needed to know its place.
Yeah.
It's okay. I messed with it too on accident. So
Yeah, it just wouldn't open up for me like at all. Like, it just wouldn't. Nothing.
AJ's not here to rage, but
AJ's not
know
here to
that his
rage.
fury lives on.
He literally can do that. He can literally rage.
Yeah.
I miss AJ.
Oh, I know. Gosh.
you see him next week.
Yes. I will see all of you next week.
Yeah.
We get to meet.
Yes.
Have you never met Mason? Do I ask this
No.
every time?
Yes.
You do.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so.
I don't think I've ever met Chavis either.
That's very likely. Yeah.
I think
I
thought you were gonna say you've never
no,
met Mason.
Will's
I was like,
met you.
I
Will-
thought-
Jerry's
I
also
thought
met
I thought you were about to say never met Jerry, and I was about to be very. I was about to,
I mean, I'm gonna officially see Cameron in person for the second time in my entire life this week, so it's okay.
that's not true.
You say that, but
So,
It's
official.
Chavis,
yes.
buddy, pal, friend, do you have any
Uh-huh.
questions, or do you have a pretty good recap, memory of what the recap happened in past sessions? Recapitulated.
Are you okay?
No.
Sid.exe has stopped working.
Yeah.
Can you tell me like just like the big highlights, and it'll probably come back to me. I know that we had a. Yeah, no. Well, we the big thing I remember from last session was trying to figure out what to do with the bow, and it kept the bow.
Yes. For now,
Oh,
Ken
we
can
leveled
have
up
the bow.
also.
Yeah. We may decide to do something else with it.
For now, Ken does have the bow. That is accurate. Yes, and then you traveled forth from Chult, from the Black Cat Inn, transporting via plants to the Druid Grove on Snowdown, and then
Right, and then I got my teleportation circles from Esfel,
Yes,
and now we are on our way to Waterdeep via
teleportation circle.
All right, yep, I'm here.
So as you're getting prepared, Asvel looks at you all. She's beginning to activate the sigils. Now, I'm certain that you don't need telling, but Waterdeep is a highly civilized place, which is to say there are many rules. When you arrive via teleportation circle, you will be required to register with the magistrate. You should be polite and courteous. Magistrates are easily recognizable in Waterdeep by their black cloaks and the city guards that accompany them. In Waterdeep, magistrates have the authority to pass judgment without trial, so you should be polite. Not that I have any concerns for you. Just remember, you're leaving the wilds and sort of the Wild West justice that you may be accustomed to, in favor for, a small metropolis, one of the largest cities in the known world. It is a beautiful place. I'm certain you shall enjoy it, but I am providing you access to this particular teleportation circle at no small cost to myself. So please be on your best behavior.
Is there anything else we should know before we venture off? I would certainly hate to offend without meaning to offend. I don't mind offending, but at least be purposeful in the situation.
I think that you will find that courtesy goes a long way in Waterdeep.
Does your name carry any weight in Waterdeep, Esfel?
Some, but you shouldn't need it. If you are looking for the... What are you going to Waterdeep for?
I believe you were there at the negotiations, but I'll refresh your memory. We are going to Waterdeep to try and find help, guides basically through the Underdark.
Oh yes. I was afraid that you were speaking in code or some such, but you mean to actually seek out these drow?
Oh yes.
Well, very well then, if you know where you're going. If you don't, though, I should suggest going to the Yawning Portal. You'll find many other like-minded adventurer folk who gather there.
I'm sorry, you
And,
said the Yawning Chortle.
the Yawning Portal.
Portal.
It's a tavern. Well-known one.
Oh, of course.
Does Dorn and I know about the Yawning Portal?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm gonna say the following. Maybe we shouldn't go there because that's where adventurers go, and someone's liable to get distracted. Not that I'm opposed to distractions. I live my life with distractions, but I'm just saying maybe not.
Maybe we
Yawning
can't
Portal.
afford them right now.
That's such a wise thing for you to say, Ekin. I agree.
I also think there's probably a lot of people that are going to be talking, and what talking is there's information. What information is there's leads,
Right.
and leads are desperately what we need right now, regardless.
Yeah. I don't
Right,
remember a
but-
circus when I was there.
Right, but maybe there are people there that we don't necessarily want to see because maybe you decided to, like, get drunk or not get drunk. Maybe you were trying to,
Hey, that
Not-
sounds like a personal problem.
and maybe there are people there who might remember your face and may not want to see you.
Maybe we should learn to face our fears, much like we face minotaurs. Is that right, Alucard? Meanwhile, I do appreciate your
I
candor.
don't think that was required, but okay.
I believe it puts you right where I needed you. Meanwhile, I do appreciate your candor and your graces and your efforts in our journey here. We will try not to besmirch your name and waste the time that we have.
Indeed. If you're ready, then.
Yes, quite.
We are ready.
Dawn,
Yes.
when you're done with this, in the very likely event that I do not know where you are at the conclusion of your mission, your journey to do with this Titan,
Mm-hmm.
do reach out. I
Where
don't
might
even
I
have to.
find you? Are you planning to be here?
If this is not a war zone, I can be in Kirkcaladier. But later today I'll be returning to Candlekeep for a time.
So I will likely find you in Candlekeep then.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if I don't die at the hands of a Titan, then I'll be sure to touch base with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
She begins
Give
casting
my best to Tessel.
teleportation circle as the runes light up all around, and a gate of light rises up from the circle. Just cloud and mist and all bright luminance. Well, hurry.
Ekan goes through.
Okay.
So does Dorn.
So do I.
I imagine.
And my axe.
Yeah.
Belle will motion for Alucard to go ahead of her and step behind.
As I pass by Belle, I whisper, I was like, is it really that we can't besmirch her name? Because that would be very fun.
Belle will only wink and smile and walk through.
And, yep, there you go.
Okay. You all appear on a similar stone dais. You are hundreds of feet above the ground. The view is splendiferous. You can see out across the cityscape. It looks like Victorian era London. There are chimneys and steam stacks. You can see from this height the people milling about on the streets below. It is a massive city. I wish there were a way I could just like copy paste some images instead of having to make a journal entry for everyone. But the streets of Waterdeep. From your visage, you are at, like I said, on a similar stone dais from which you left. It has a brass railing all around to keep you from falling off, but otherwise it is just like a raised plinth that it takes you a moment to realize that you're standing at the very tip of a massive carved hand, like in the palm, as you look out over the city. I believe I showed you this picture last time. And I may have it even. Yeah, I do. Show it to players.
Well, that's cool.
Yes, in the palm of the hand of this massive statue, there is the teleportation circle is rested. You're looking out. Above you is this enormous, magically suspended orb of white marble. Below you, you can see the statuesque figure descending down into something of a kneeled position, reaching upward on the city streets. You can look out across and see just the city spread out before you. I'll show you where you're at. Activate. And then come here and do this. And the God Catcher statue is what this one is called. And it is located exactly thusly.
Exactly thusly.
In the city. And you all are facing southward, so you can see the city walls rise up on these bluffs before you can see past that extending out to the ocean on the horizon, and you can see the harbor to the south. There's this big mountain here that rises up, kind of all natural, and at the very peak of it there is an area where you can see what look to be very large birds swirling around, flitting and landing and flying out as well. It takes you a moment before you realize that they aren't birds at all, they're griffins. And there appears to be a large outpost where these guards are trained to ride the griffins, are completing sorties and heading out to patrol the skies around Waterdeep. With your eyes cast forth across all of the city, let me see if I can find another good picture of the city of Waterdeep, kind of at large.
Big city music is big.
Yeah. It's big city music.
It's good to be back in civilization.
Is there music?
There is. Bella will take a quick glance around.
Mhm.
Are there like many people looking at us right now?
No one.
Many
in
people.
fact.
No
Not
one?
many
I'll
people.
shift into Mathesis.
Okay. Yeah, the wind buffets you up here. It seems there's a good reason that there's this bronze railing all around the teleportation circle here. And it doesn't appear to be often used, or at least not by like common individuals. It's much more. This is probably not the only teleportation circle in the city by any means, and this is a little bit more private, as it appears directly at the top of this statue. And I am not seeing any other pictures that I like. So as not to waste too much more time, as you look around, there's a path that descends from the teleportation plinth and kind of walks down the palm of the hand to one of these buildings that has been set into the side of the statue. You can make history checks for me. Anyone?
Okay.
Working on it.
Bueller?
Ooh.
Oh. Who rolled a natural 20?
I did.
Nice.
I
Makes
did pay
sense,
attention
checks
to my
out.
studies at Candlekeep.
Yeah, sure.
I spent some time here. Let's see what I remember. Not much.
Let's see. I do have a picture here. I'm going to create a new journal entry for every freaking picture. I wish there were a way to just
I've been looking for that too, but there's
copy
not.
paste. Yeah, because it wants you to put it all in to the directory.
Which isn't terrible.
Nope. So this is kind of a view from the street level, more in the springtime, and it is not springtime right now, but just to give you an idea of like the architecture and the density of the city.
Very attractive.
Yes.
Uh,
I'm sorry.
There's some
I'm
good
distracted. I
scrolling
really wanna
sounds you
find-
got there.
Yep. Can you hear that? Great.
Yeah, I think that you're on a different mic than normal.
Oh no. Is that true?
that
Yeah.
might be true.
I tried to mention it in
Properties.
Stream channels, but I will just say it now.
Yeah, I literally brought attention to his mic being weird at the before anyone else was on.
Yeah. But I didn't register.
Ah.
Yeah, I didn't register
okay.
that either. Yeah.
No, it's not in Streamlabs. Skype is using a different mic, so only you guys are getting the worst possible
That must be your computer we hear in the background.
audio experience.
There we go.
Yeah, voila.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm a
That sounds better.
super
Sorry,
attentive person.
That sounds
was getting
better.
another-
Yeah, no worries.
Just looking at the ceiling in my kitchen while I get another beer.
Of
Hello
course.
from sunny Winston-Salem.
Oh, are you home? Nice.
I am, yeah, which is why I'm like, I have a weird setup and the background's different and I can't actually.
Aren't you
Wow,
moving
you
back
are,
like,
like-
next month?
End of July, I moved back.
Yeah. It's exciting.
Ready. I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, sorry, not to derail.
Not at all. Not at all. We're kind of all over the place tonight. Hey,
Hi.
that's what I was drinking yesterday.
Wait, Outraged Daughters?
Yeah,
It's such a good beer.
this exact beer. I took the label off.
I love this beer. It's so good.
Um, we're not sponsored by Wise Man Brewing Company.
Wise Man
Anybody?
Brewery. Unless
That'd be nice, though.
any of
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
who
if
are
you,
watching
yeah,
and
yeah,
would
yeah.
like to sponsor us, that would be
Mhm,
wonderful.
mhm. Okay, here's finally a picture of Waterdeep. This is kind of at night, so it's a poor representation. But again, I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of the like architecture that you're seeing. This is probably one of the more advanced cities that you've been to, any of you. It is rivaled only by Baldur's Gate in like technological advancement. The city has almost like steam technology. It's really powered by magic, but they're on the cusp of having a lot of magical items that are for convenience rather than necessity. Like it's wealthy enough to have refrigerators, like they have cold boxes in a lot of the residences so that their meats and things don't go bad, and that's like not common across Faerun. That kind of almost superfluous use of magic for the sake of convenience rather than just absolute necessity is not common in the rest of the world. But you would know that about this city. And like I said, as you look out, you can see immediately to the south, there's a large market district. It's filled with tents and covered awnings that cover little like almost like caravan style traveling shops, and it's ringed all around with these more permanent structures. You can see and kind of you can smell like street food wafting up. This is really literally just to the south of you here.
I would like whatever that is. Like, I really want that. Can we go get that? I want that.
There's actually some very nice food here. Waterdeep.
I really would like to have the food.
We want to do that first before we go find these individuals.
Mathis is already walking towards the food.
Yeah, as you descend, like I said, you're coming off of this dais and heading down the palm of the hand towards the, once again, towards the structures that are built onto the side of it. And as you approach, a young man, half elf actually, with auburn-colored hair, and a short shock on top of his head, opens the door. Oh,
Hey!
hello, hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello. Welcome to Waterdeep.
Thanks.
My name is Jorah, and
Hey, Jorah.
I have been instructed to guide you down to the main hall.
Well, that is so kind of you. I'm Mathesis, and these are my friends, and we would be happy to follow you.
Oh, good. Okay, this way. And he leads you into this kind of small series of structures that are just. I'll show it again just in case, because it's kind of pertinent. Godcatcher.
Mathesis was just complimenting the architecture and his shoes. You know, you have really good taste in style. Everything here is such a good. Are those what kind of shoes? This is just so lovely. Everything is so wonderful.
With that history check that you did so well on, most of you, you would know that there was a time when Waterdeep was defended from supernatural threats by these incredibly powerful statues. The city is dotted with them. There's a Hawkman, a Griffin, the Honorable Knight. You can see them across the map here. They're marked with a star and a black circle. And these statues are at the command of, if you rolled higher than an 18, you would know this additional piece of information. These statues are technically at the command of Waterdeep's military magical general, which is a specific political station called the Blackstaff. Whoever is holding the Blackstaff of Waterdeep can, theoretically, in times of great need, call the statues to life to defend Waterdeep, but it hasn't been done in centuries. But that person, whoever the Blackstaff is also supposed to be the preeminent and most powerful caster that resides in Waterdeep, and is meant to be the one who is the kind of general of all of Waterdeep's magical might. I would also say that with at least a 17 on that history check, you would know that from what Esfel said, you guys are in the quarters of an organization called the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors. These guys are dressed a lot like this guy you see in the picture here in front, with the blue cap and the gold ring. They are magic users from all across Waterdeep of all various skills and aspirations, who largely volunteer, but are part of this network of magic casters that are called upon in times of great need. They assist the fire brigade, they assist in detective work sometimes. Anytime that someone needs like a qualified caster of any kind, you can reach out to the Magists, Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors. And their skills range the gamut from just like they'll send 3 apprentices that all know prestidigitation to clean up a terrible mess, all the way up to they have casters who can, delayed cast fireball if they want. So with that, as you are led down this kind of spiraling, sloping walkway, it seems to be strictly the purpose of this walkway is to go up to the teleportation circle. And you get the impression immediately that that is for security. So it's that no one who had the teleportation ring, and you couldn't just send a bunch of like soldiers or forces through to this teleportation circle and have any kind of military advantage, because you have to kind of walk all the way down this kind of covered awning walkway. There are a couple of offices here and there that kind of jet off of the walkway, but about 5 minutes later you make your way to this large silo-looking building that kind of rises up off of the giant's back right shoulder. And upon entry, you get the impression you walk into what really feels like a guild hall. There are torches that line the inside of the room. Many people in here have books open. They're transcribing magic into their spell books. They're having conversation over tea about magic in general. There's a couple of things. There's a little bit of hustle and bustle as a couple people are like passing missives back and forth to one another. Some of them look a little bit more officially garbed. Some of them look quite casual and they're just kind of visiting for the day, what have you. But as you enter, you are led back kind of over to an area that has a large table where there are a number of wizards, probably not wizards, a number of caster-looking folk who are sitting around this table and kind of discussing amongst themselves. Excuse me, sirs. Esfel's guests have arrived. Oh no, not you.
Oh, sorry.
This is Mathesis and everyone else. Okay, bye.
Hey,
And
thanks. See you around.
Jorah kind of scurries away. He seems to be a mousy sort of skittish sort. A gnome with purple hair stands up on his high seat. He's got a high chair so that he comes up to the right height to sit at the table with everyone else, and kind of gives a short bow. Welcome to the guild hall of the Watchful Order of Magists and Protectors. May I have your names?
Mathesis will return the bow and say, we thank you for your hospitality. My name is Mathesis, and we're the 11th Ornament.
Dorn will step forward and will say, pleased to make your acquaintance, sir. My name is Dorn Greycastle. I am Esfel's brother.
Oh, a Grey Castle here in the guild hall. Well, you're welcome, of course, of course. You and all of your companions. You said you are the 11th Ornament?
That's right.
Yes, a little play on words.
Because of the divine ornaments. Clever.
I thought
Very
so.
clever. Well, Esfel informed us that you would be arriving, but not about what you might need. Is there anything that we can provide aside from hospitality?
We are currently searching just for information and some folks that may help us upon our journeys. She just thought that it would be easier for us to travel via teleportation circle rather than to fly or take a ship. So
Yes, often so. Often so.
But what we're really in need of at the moment is a place to buy some good food. We smelled some wonderful things upon arriving here, and perhaps perusing a little bit of shopping before we get about to business.
Indeed. Well, I should highly recommend the market district. I'm sure that the wafting smell of rotisserie sausages of whatnot kind and all such are what met your nose as you entered our glorious city. I'd be happy to lead you down to the staircase. It is a long walk down, unfortunately. But at the base of the statue, you can head south to the market, where you'll find a whole number of things. If you're looking for higher quality goods, I mean that of more unique or magical nature, I would actually look a little bit further south to hold on.
No, take your time. It's all right. No, you're fine.
Here we go. Activate.
If you're
Let's get.
intending for stream to see it, you have to close.
I know.
Just making sure. I don't know.
And if you
can
if
see
you
versus
mouse
what
over the
things.
tokens, it actually brings up a larger.
That's not true because there are no tokens on this map.
But if there were,
It would be true. Actually, still true. There's just no tokens for you to test it on.
I'm putting the tokens down, but they don't. They're invisible. Huh. That's okay. We don't need them right now. We hope they'll come through for us if we do need them.
I actually recommend going south of the market to the Street of Skills.
That sounds lovely. Thank you so much for your
You'll
information.
find incredible craftsmen who make all manner of things. It's between, well, the artisans who are most skilled in the city ply their trade in that area. There's the Sword Street and the Street of Silver and the Street of Skills. But many of their items do make their way to market.
That's absolutely wonderful. May I ask for your name again?
Oh, well, yes, of course. My apologies, I haven't even given it. My name is Master Hymnus.
Master Hymnus, thank you so much.
Oh, it's
We'd be
my
happy
pleasure.
to follow you.
Yes, indeed. This way.
And he kind of hops off of his chair and begins kind of wobbling a little bit forward. He doesn't appear to have really great mobility. He does look quite old, but he seems to be slightly arthritic.
Was he human? Is he a short human? Is he like a halfling or a gnome or something?
He's a gnome.
he's a gnome.
Okay, sorry.
With
And-
purple hair.
Did he take all of our names down? Okay.
Just mine and Dorn.
Cool.
Yes, no, he did not.
Bill got nervous suddenly.
Yeah, as he heads forward, he begins to. Oh, he takes a couple more steps and then just kind of hops up in the air. And as he falls, he lands on a little nimbus.
Oh, that is
Much better.
wonderful.
And he begins
How
to
do you
just
do that?
Oh, this thing? Enchanted Nimbus. Quite useful.
Yeah. I imagine so. That's really cool.
Yes, it was highly valuable, but
How valuable?
hard to come by.
If you had to put a gold price on it right now.
Oh,
You
mine's
can-
for sale.
that's-
Yeah, just because it is valuable doesn't mean you. What?
I
What?
just want to know. In case we find another one in the market and to have
Oh,
a
I doubt you will.
reasonable
I've
price
made
to...
this one myself. I've never seen one here on this side of the
Oh,
world.
so you're capable of making
Oh,
Well, yes.
Well, we would love to
You
follow
looking
you
to buy
down.
me a
Thank you
present?
so much.
it.
Hmm.
I want to be Goku, okay?
you have wings on your feet.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
so
quite
it's-
complicated to create, actually.
as he's leading you back through the various areas of the complex. You're kind of floating along. He's kind of floating along. You're following him.
You do need air elemental blood, which is nigh impossible to get as it's quite vaporous. And then, of course, you'll need the same sort of enchantments that go onto flying carpets, but air, you'll find, doesn't quite hold the enchantment the same way that thread does, funnily
Can
enough.
Mathis make a,
So-
a butter him up check? He's just like absolutely, just enamored whatever he's saying.
Sure, make a general charisma check.
Dorn, meanwhile, will act like he knows exactly what this guy's talking about because he's assuming that the guy doesn't know he's not a caster. He's sort of relying on his family name.
Vale's just trying to keep up.
Ken just wants the cloud.
Look, bro, it's not for sale.
I don't know, I think somebody's knocking on my door.
And Vale has a very good point too. I don't need it. I can fly already.
Indeed. So, as you proceed, following him, you do ultimately come to the edge of the complex. This large, actually, it looks almost like Victorian architecture. The front of this house has these Georgian columns. You come out onto the porch, and to the right you can see this staircase carved into the side of the statue, which descends down the torso of the statue and ultimately down to the ground level.
And as I said, it is quite a hike down. Though it's not uncommon for many of our patrons and members to just simply feather fall down, if you have that at your disposal. In any event, if you should need anything further, please don't hesitate to reach back out here. There's a very lovely man at the door, Barnabas or Wimbley, and they can help you to direct you to us.
Well, thank you very much. We'll be on our way. Do take care.
Indeed.
Eken is going to step off the side and start flying, and as he does, reach his hand out to Belle, as if to gesture. They'll walk down together or float down together.
He's
Bell-
Mathis right now. I thought.
Mathis will take.
Oh, even
Ken's
better.
hand
Yeah, he'll do it to Mathis.
As if he was Belle, like trying to imitate Belle's mannerisms, but in a mocking way.
Yeah. Almost making fun of Belle's seriousness and decorum.
Yep.
Perfect, sir.
Okay.
Oh, so we're all going to just fly down like it,
Yeah, we're gonna do it the most complicated way instead of the easy way that he suggested.
Dorn, I guess, will just start walking down.
He said
Yeah,
most
okay.
of them float down. That was his suggestion.
Was to feather fall down, as
Yeah,
Will was getting at, I think.
yeah. If you
That
have
will-
it,
I have Featherfall if you would like to do that.
that's just a lot of stairs. They're
Okay.
half my body length. They're like it's my thigh. So I have to climbing up each
I
one of
understand.
these.
Okay, well, just jump then. Here we go.
Dorn, would you like to jump with Alucard and Vale?
That depends. Does Alucard cast Featherfall or not?
Well,
You
I
have to jump
have
first.
I have to wait till we start falling.
Oh, you can't.
Tor
cast it
definitely
before.
will.
Yeah,
it-
you
the
cannot cast it
trigger
ahead of
is
time. It is a
on
reaction.
falling creatures.
Yes.
Okay. Then yeah, of course, I will stand on the railing and sort of like fall backwards over the railing.
Sid, how many feet are we off? Are we off of the ground?
I would say at this point you're probably, let's see, close to 80 feet.
Okay. Because the people who are jumping are me, Vale, and Dorn
And Tor.
And Tor.
and Dor. I'll try to be the last person to jump, and I'm going to wait like a good 3 seconds before casting Featherfall. I'm joking.
Okay.
To say
We're out
I
of
will-
range.
we're dead.
As soon as I jump off, I will cast Featherfall.
As you all begin to softly descend.
But Sid, that is a sorcerer spell, which means that I have to. roll
Okay.
a d20.
Oh.
And I roll a
boy.
d20, but only if it's a 1 do we have to worry about a wild magic surge. So
That's right. That's the way
I
that works.
never roll ones.
Right.
Jerry has a history of rolling very
It's
high.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
it's
very
a 5
true.
roll. So we're all good.
It doesn't have to be very high. It just has to be high enough.
Mm-hmm. So where are we going to first?
I'm
As
going
you all
Deputy?
descend down, eventually to where you're at eye level with the rooftops, and then descending down past the rooftops, where you are now surrounded by these tall city buildings. As you land at the base of the statue, where these stairs have been cut in, going up the foot towards the ankle, there is at the very base here a small building set up. And as you land, a gentleman steps out wearing all black and flanked on either side by a pair of very evidently city guards.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Waterdeep.
Hey, thanks.
My name is... What are your names?
I'm Mathesis, and we're the 11th Ornament.
Please no nicknames.
Okay, well, I'm Mathesis.
Yes, and he begins to look down the line, collecting names.
Sorry, what did you say your name was?
I am Magister Corin.
Magister Corin. My name is Dorn Greycastle. It's very nice to make your acquaintance.
A pleasure. He looks to Iken.
Well, if you must know, my name is Iken.
Kind of a common name. And he looks to Tor, who gives his name kind of gruffly. Very good. And then looks to Vale.
I'm Vale of the. I'm Vale of the Fiddlepatch family in Daggerford. Yeah, Vale of Fiddlepatch.
Make a deception check.
Alucard tries to hold in a giggle.
Okay.
No.
He moves past you.
The -1.
Alucard.
Alucard ever so.
So, well, gentlemen, welcome to Waterdeep. As I said, my name is Magister Corin. Will you be staying long?
Probably not.
No.
More than a 10-day?
Nah, wouldn't say so.
Unlikely.
Very good then. Visitors to the city are exempt from taxes if they are here for less than a 10-day. You should be aware there are many rules and regulations. You should educate yourselves so that you are not found guilty of any crimes. Ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law.
How can I do that?
He reaches into his pocket and pulls out a pamphlet. Which I actually have. It's called Code Legal.
Mathesis is studying Homeboy's robe. And
It
is
is
taking
black.
in.
How old is? Well, what like
He's a human.
is Magister Corin human? He's an older person.
You'd say in his 40s.
Okay.
Yes, good. Okay.
As he hands you a copy of the Code Legal. It will also make available to everyone in the Journals tab. Pretty standard stuff. Now, if there is nothing further, as I said, welcome to Waterdeep. As he steps back into the small building that is set at the base of the tower. You all are apparently free to go about your business.
So, where to first?
Nats just has his nose buried in this rules book.
It's really simple laws. I mean, I say simple.
Hey, Chavis, your exposure is very dark.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on my. There's nothing I can do to it.
Okay.
I'm waiting on my ring light to come in, but
Oh, fancy.
yeah.
Sounds good.
Now, I see this insulting or impersonating a lord is punishable by death.
Yeah, they just don't question. Yeah, that's just the reality of how power works. Hold on, I have a question. How would you feel if somebody were to impersonate the emperor? What would you do?
I'm just
I'm just
keenly aware of how we like to get ourselves into narrow situations.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad that you're paying attention to that too.
We should be. I did not believe Esfel because she likes to feel like she's in control, but we really should be on our best behavior.
It's a city, yeah.
Okay, well, where we've been for the last 3 months has been
not a city.
that strict. I mean, poor Nyan Zaru. I guess if we were to assault the merchant princes, there'd be, but not death. I don't think.
Yeah, they would take out a contract and hire someone to assassinate us. Like literally, that's a legal thing there. Yeah, governments are shitty.
I'm assuming that magisters are lords in this situation.
No, probably not.
I think
Lords are
their
lords.
own lord
Magisters
system.
are. Yeah, they're.
Are they just officials or nobles?
Magisters
They're
are
the
like
law.
Yeah, they're the law.
Yeah, you're aware. They're like roving judges, circuit court judges.
Yeah. Also,
they can
there's
pass
Go ahead,
pass
sorry.
judgment and sentencing without a trial. They have the authority. They seldom do, but they do have that authority.
There's also the Griffin Riders, as well.
Yes. The Griffin Riders are
violating an edict cannot get you killed, though.
Yeah, I have some context that could help us avoid this side of things. They don't know me, which is the weird part, but I can work around that, I think. If we needed those, they're shadier, much shadier. They helped me when I was here last. Don't know if we want to use them or not, but those are an option. But
I say we do some reconnaissance first, see if we can find the circus. If we can't, we use your contacts.
The circuits shouldn't be hard to find. Let's go.
Just think. Yes, as you head south from the Godcatcher, cross over Trader's Way and into the bustling bazaar, you can see, like I said, these many-colored awnings which cover these like carts that are in and of themselves mobile traveling shops that fill the market area. It's this large open space, almost like flea market style. You can smell all kinds of baked goods and roasting meats, and just kind of wafting through the air. There's a bustle as people are filling the market district. To the easternmost side of the market square, you can see a large building. Well, maybe it's the westernmost. You can see a large building that it's listed as the Yawning Portal. It's got a sign hanging out front, which, again, I have art for somewhere. So what's the plan?
Matt just goes and buys a piece of chicken and starts looking for magic items.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, we should probably go shopping first.
Okay, absolutely.
Who's got our party funds?
Should
Whoever has a
be
bag of holding.
Will I am.
Yes, I believe so.
Or at least
And
that's my headcanon.
Yeah, I did not put the amount of gold in there because I didn't do that. Because we wrote it down and I wasn't thinking about the bag of holding. How you got a number on that for me, Cherry?
70. Hold on. Sorry. I do.
7D 20,000.
70. It's like 75,000 platinum pieces.
No.
No,
it is
it's
7,000 platinum pieces.
7,000 platinum pieces. There we go. That number.
Which is
How
worth
much is that?
70,000 gold.
70,000 gold.
Yes.
All right. What is at the bazaar for us?
So many things. Actually, here in the bazaar, there's a lot of just some kind of like artisan craft. It's a lot of clothing. It's a lot of there's some toys, toy makers. There's a lot of like puppets, hats, shoes. There's some weapons, but they all seem to be of standard fare. There's
To the Avenue of Skills.
Yeah. You were told that the Street of Skills here is where you're gonna find higher level, higher order craftsmanship. And to the purpose of not spending a ton of time, we'll say that you guys can spend the next 4 hours or so perusing the Street of Silver and the Street of Skills, kind of, and the Sword Street, to see all of the goods created by these artisans. And there are a number of items that might interest you. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for?
I would be looking for any magical martial weapons, or magical armor.
Okay. Yeah, there's plenty of that. You do find a set of +2 studded leather armor. You find a, let's see, a +3 heavy crossbow, a +2 pike, it's like a spear-like weapon. So there's some very well crafted stuff available, kind of depending on what you're looking for.
I don't know what I would be looking for, but doggone it, I'm looking for it.
Okay.
I'm just looking for cool stuff.
Yeah, just as far as that goes, as far as just like wondrous items, there's a pair of boots of levitation. There's a helm of comprehend languages. There is a staff of the adder.
I know a
Assume
guy
all
who'd
of
like one of
these-
those.
I assume all of these require attunement. Is that right?
Some of them do. So like the +2 studded leather armor does not.
Like the boots of levitation, the helm of comprehend languages, the staff of the adder.
Let me look. Boots of Levitation does require attunement.
Mm-hmm.
The Staff of the Adder does for sure, and then the Helm of Comprehend Languages. I'm pretty sure it does, but I'm checking. No, it does not.
Oh, really?
It just has, while wearing this helmet, you can use an action to cast Comprehend Languages from it at will. No charges, no limitations, just anytime you want. Comprehend Languages.
And how much does that cost?
The Helm of Comprehend Languages costs 1,000 gold pieces.
Interesting. Okay.
I always forget. Cameron Norris has ruined me with that because in his mind it's in the book it looks really stupid to him, so he always describes it in a very stupid manner, like but like it's
Yes.
always in that manner. It's always fun to use.
Yeah,
like in that campaign that I used.
The picture is very
was...
stupid. I'll share it with you. But it doesn't have to look like this. I'm perfectly fine with reflavoring the artisanry of the item to be less silly looking.
Dorn/Gorstag is not afraid to look stupid.
And picture, add to file. This one we choose open. Just such a pain. Fun every time.
Were those all the items that were available?
Not necessarily.
Are there any cool bows?
Yeah, let me look. So
Cool arrows?
rather than just doing the thing where like I normally just generate one shop and tell you guys what all is there, which is a better gaming experience from the player's standpoint, because there's so many shops here and you're just perusing. I don't want to do it that way.
And how much was the studded leather armor +2?
The +2 studded leather armor is 14,000 gold pieces.
Okay. It could be. But yeah.
Here is the Helm of Comprehension per
It does look kind of weird.
Dungeon Master's Guide. Yep.
You'd think the gem and stuff would be in the ears, because that's what...
You would think that. So yeah, as you're looking, as far as bows, there is a +3 heavy crossbow, which I did mention. Let me see here. There is a +2 hand crossbow. Which these kind of like overly complicated mechanical sort of affairs are a little bit more common, a little bit more popular here in Waterdeep. Hey, somebody said hi. So the crossbows are going to be more common in Waterdeep because they require more sort of engineering, and they're a little bit more difficult to make, and so they're easier to export and sell. But so yeah, you do find a +2 hand crossbow in a shop that kind of specializes in these sorts of things. The hand crossbow is one that kind of mounts to the wrist and slides out, and then the retention part of the bow kind of springs out, so it's got like a effect.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like the pistol version of a crossbow. So crossbows do have the loading feature, so once you fire it, basically you have to spend I think an action loading it, so it's not. Or perhaps it's a bonus action. Either way, with action economy, it's not great, but it is quick to draw and fire. It can be done, you know, kind of in a surprise-like fashion. That's why hand crossbows like that are very common with the roguish characters. Let me look.
And
Let
how
me
much
double
is
check.
that?
The +2 hand crossbow is 4,080 gold pieces. So, as you all are kind of deciding how to spend this money that was given to you by the Emperor of to fund your journey, there, like I said, there are a large number of sort of vendors and things here. I'm not going to say that anything that you might want you could find, but there are a lot of things that you could find if you were searching around. I'm just looking for some import.
Yeah. So I've been looking for
input from you guys of what you might be looking for. Yeah.
So I am interested because I have an attunement slot open currently. So a cool cloak would be something I'm down for because if I ever switch, I need to have a hood for art reasons. Or in terms of, I was looking at like things that like required cleric. I seem to have been like to collect like other gods' things. So like maybe if there are any prayer beads or like a staff of healing, one of the, like those are the two items that have gnomes, not gnome, cleric specific that I was kind of interested. But also those are specific things too. So I'm not necessarily looking for those exactly.
Okay.
I would like to look for specialty arrows.
Okay. Sure. This may not be as interesting to you, Vale, because you can kind of already do this. But there is a cloak of the bat, which allows you to fly in dim light or darkness. It also allows you to polymorph into a bat, and also gives you advantage on dexterity stealth checks in dim light or darkness. So it has a couple of extra riders. There's also a cloak of the manta ray. Cloak of the manta ray. While wearing this cloak with its hood up, you can breathe underwater and have a swimming speed of 60 feet. So those are kind of the magical cloaks that you're able to find.
All right, I'm gonna be a true musician and just take a look at the guitars sitting around. Are there any cool musical instruments?
Let me roll and see. Let's see here. Let me double check on also, since I have this other thing open, the hand crossbow as well. Super interesting content tonight, guys.
Yeah, next to leveling up. That's just my favorite type of content.
Well, I know, and like, what did I expect when I gave you guys 70,000 gold pieces? You were gonna go shopping, so I'm not mad. Loading. Because of the time required to load this weapon, you can fire only one piece of ammunition from it when you use an action, bonus action, or reaction to fire it, regardless of the number of attacks you can normally make. Oh, never mind. Loading just means you don't get extra attack if you are using this as like a fighter. But you never get extra attack.
Yeah.
So this is literally it's no detriment to you. You just have to load it as part of the same action or reaction that you use to fire it. So
yeah. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I could have answered that. My bad.
No, you're fine. I was thinking Pathfinder. In Pathfinder, you have to load it.
Yeah.
It's very different. In any event, so the hand crossbow. There's. What did you say else from that? I was definitely listening and paying attention. Musical.
I was looking for musical instruments, stealthy things. really trying to see. I don't really know if there's possible to be an upgrade for the loot of the bards, but you never know unless you look.
Yeah, the DOS loot. Well, so there's a whole line of instruments of the bards. They all have kind of similar features, but if you specifically want a lute, then you've got it. There is
Or I was really trying to see if I could find something that would give me a plus to my spell casting save, my spell save. I don't know if that exists in the game, but that's what I'm fishing for. If that is a thing that Sid wants to.
It does, but it starts to break the game in weird ways. That
it I don't think it does actually exist.
No, every class has one now.
Oh. There must be newer items then. I know that Warlock and Artificer have them.
Well, it's the same thing that in the same book that produced Artificer. It brought in like the book that Jerry's character has in the other campaign, the Arcane Grimoire. Everyone has a thing like that.
I see.
But I understand why you might not want to use them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. You do find another instrument of the bards. It is a cittern. I'll tell you what that does. The cittern has the same spells that all instruments of the bards have, so fly, invisibility, levitate, and protection from evil and good. The specific spells that this one can cast outside of that are Bark Skin, Cure Wounds, and Fog Cloud. So just a slight difference from the DOS loot. Not necessarily better, not necessarily worse. DOS loot gives you animal friendship, protection from energy, and protection from poison. Whereas the cittern would give you Bark Skin, Cure Wounds, and Fog Cloud using charges. So it is kind of, in my opinion, strictly better. Those spells are going to have more use than, but it is not a cheap item.
Mm-hmm.
It is 27,000 gold pieces for the cittern.
Right. So you said Bark Skin, Fog Cloud, and Cure Wounds.
Yes, the cittern has those in place of the loot's animal friendship, protection from energy, and animal friendship, protection from energy, fire only, and protection from poison on DOS loot.
Mm-hmm. I'd see if I could trade in the DOS loot and see what sort of wheeling and dealing I could do. Respectfully.
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
With advantage because of my boy's good looks?
No. But 25. With a 25, I would say that you could easily sell DOS loot for 14,000 gold.
14,000. So that's, I'm looking for 12,000.
The difference, roughly.
Yeah. I will wait on the rest of the party and see if that is
okay.
If that works with the party funds.
Sure.
Did we find any specialty arrows? I'm looking for exploding specifically, but I want to know what they have.
You don't find any exploding arrows because those aren't real. I made them up, and it was a terrible decision.
What do you mean? This is the best fun we ever had.
Don't call me out like that. There are
putting
some
fireball in the end of an arrow.
There are some arrows of slaying.
What are those two?
Arrows of slaying. do an additional 60/10 piercing damage against any creature that you. So like these particular arrows, you can dip the arrowhead in blood, and then it deals an additional 60/10 piercing damage to creatures of that type. Once it is used in this way, it is set. It always deals it to that type of creature.
Oh, but they're reusable?
Well, if you go and retrieve it, potentially they are.
Okay.
That's situationally busted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much are those?
They are 800 gold pieces per.
A piece?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
You did say 60-10, right?
6d10. That's right.
Okay. I guess I'll do the same and kind of wait. I would also like to know if there are any other like Ioun stones or rings of protection or any other things like that.
Yeah, let me see. There's a ring of invisibility. There's a scarab of protection. What does this do? Oh, that's interesting. There's a scarab of protection, which is very expensive at 36,000 gold. That effectively you get legendary resistance. You can expend a charge to succeed, but only against necromantic spells from enemies. You can choose to succeed if you had failed, and it only works 12 times, and then it crumbles to dust. Let me see what the price of a ring of protection would be.
And I don't necessarily have a spell slot with the bow, so I'm just wondering.
Yeah, so a ring of protection is 4,000 gold pieces. You can find one.
That would be nice.
What's the periapt of? What's the thing that Jonathan has?
What are we talking about?
You have a periapt of health. Is that what gives you Constitution?
Yeah.
Yep. That is 6,000 gold pieces.
I spent so much money on
What
that.
does that do, John?
Makes it so much. My Constitution is 19.
Oh, it just makes your Constitution 19.
Yeah,
Spent
and then
like
that's
17,000 gold on it.
and it's probably worth close to that. It's just you're in Waterdeep where there's a wealth of adventurers that come through here, whereas you bought it in what, Chult?
Mesro.
How much is it worth?
How much is it worth?
Yeah.
Or how much would it cost you to buy it?
Both.
Hard to say what it's worth. Priceless if it saved your life. It costs you 6,000 gold.
And that's attunement?
Yes. It sets your Constitution to 19, regardless of what it is otherwise.
Are there like ASI tomes in D&D?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't think we find those, do we?
Not here.
If I had one that could set my strength to 23 again.
Yeah, no. There are gauntlets of ogre power. Or gauntlets of ogre power.
It's ogre powered.
They're incredibly ogre powered.
Yeah.
They're gonna be 10,000 gold pieces. But they would.
What do they do? What do they do?
Ogre power. Am I spelling gauntlet wrong? Is that why I can never find it? Ogre power. I think they set your strength to 19.
Yeah, that's what they do. Sorry.
That's what they do.
Is there something that will
Required
set
achievement, your strength score is 19 while you wear the gauntlets.
something that'll set my charisma to 22?
Nope.
No.
Yes, a book. If your charisma is 22 already and you've read it for 2 days, doesn't mean it's there though.
Sid, do they have a ring of spell storing?
Let me check on that, actually.
Ooh, that's a good idea. Is that attunement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ring of spell storing. Let me roll to see if they have one. Yeah, looks like you could put your hands on a ring of spell storing for 24,000 gold pieces.
Lord, okay.
It's
I
a
guess
good
I'm
one.
Not... How much would the bow be if we sold it?
The bow. To the right buyer, I would say you could get 8,000 gold pieces.
I think I'd rather have the bow.
Keep in mind, you always sell at half. You always sell at half value, right? You never get more than half the value back when you're selling.
Any magical swords?
Magical swords, you say?
Or like
Yes.
Sword Street?
Indeed. There is.
Or magical rapiers?
That counts, right?
Yeah. Looks like there is a +3 longsword. It's the most magical of swords. For 16,000 gold pieces. Let's see. You might also find a, well,
Vorpal sword.
mm, those exist in this game. Yeah, let's see. Why not? What is the value of a Vorpal sword?
What is that? I know it's like from Alice in Wonderland.
So if you, it basically says if you crit, then you chop off the creature's head that you attacked against. It's essentially an insta-kill, is my
Kind
understanding
of.
of it.
Well,
One
You
of the
can't
creatures
kill. You can't kill
Unless-
bosses with it.
Unless
and
you're
you can't kill
attacking a
things.
Hydra.
right. So it says this. You gain a +3 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic weapon. In addition, the weapon ignores resistance to slashing damage. When you attack a creature that has at least one head with this weapon, and you roll a 20 on the attack roll, you cut off one of the creature's heads. The creature dies if it can't survive without the lost head. A creature is immune to this effect if it is immune to slashing damage, if it doesn't have or need a head, if it has legendary actions, or the DM decides that the creature is too big for its head to be cut off with this weapon. Such a creature instead takes an extra 6d8 slashing damage from the hit.
That is terrifying.
It's interesting that it clarifies you have to roll a 20, not a crit.
Not crit.
roll.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crit stacking.
Yeah.
Yes, that they do have a Vorpal longsword. It is 28,000 gold pieces.
Anything
Did they-
else? Just curious.
Yeah, I mean, all
Did they
kinds of
have
stuff.
any cleric stuff?
Sorry. Cleric stuff like
I had asked
No,
about
no
specifically
prayer beads. Maybe a
okay.
staff of healing. Let me see.
I actually hadn't even read. I just saw them on the list, and I hadn't looked at prayer beads ever. And they're an item that I think that you used one time for gobs, like forever ago.
Yeah. Well, they have so much variety. They can be.
Yeah,
like
I
you
didn't
roll
look
on.
at it too much.
Yeah.
Oh, it is cool actually. Then okay. I understand.
Yeah. That's something that they wouldn't really be for sale. You'd have to like be gifted that
I
or
understand.
because of the kind of nature of it. But a staff of healing. Sure. They have a staff of healing. Let's see what the price is. Staff of healing is available for 13,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
So how much did you say the +3 hand crossbow was?
It's a +2 hand crossbow. I see what you did there.
No,
Yeah,
that was because you said there was +2s and +3s everywhere. That was an honest mistake.
No, you're fine.
Yes,
So
like
about
the
the +4
girls.
hand crossbow.
So the +5 hand crossbow was how much though?
I think the
we had our
+6
level to it,
hand
right?
crossbow costs.
Yeah, it's like on you add your level right in this game. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Pathfinder. So the +2 hand crossbow is 4,080 gold pieces.
Would there happen to be a cloak of the mount bank?
No.
Oh.
There are 2 magical cloaks.
Oh no, this is a cape. It's not a cloak.
Yeah, there are two. I'll say 3 magical cloaks available amongst the shops. The cloak of the bat, cloak of the manta ray, and a cloak of elvenkind.
And like 55 cloaks of billowing.
Yes, so many cloaks of billowing in all manner of colors.
How much could I get if I traded in Flame Tongue?
Okay, so question for the party.
Oh, you are the crit fishing class. No, but
Yeah.
it's just on a 20 though. So remember
Just a
that
20.
it is.
I
just
do
on a 20.
remember.
Yeah, we did talk.
I
We did talk about that.
Yeah. Sorry. I
For Flame Tongue, you could get 5,020 gold pieces.
Okay.
Anybody have any idea what Tour might be looking for?
can you give me? I don't know what he has. If he has a, does he have I don't think he has a 2-minute slots filled.
He might have all of his two
Might now.
slots filled. He's got the Fists of Utao, the Barrier Tattoo. That's it, actually. So
What kind of magical boots do we got?
yeah, so there's some Boots of Levitation.
Great.
Could we like get, and this is just asking the question to the party, could we get the Ring of Spellstoring for the party?
It is
How much was
enchantment.
that?
Because I'll only say because it's a utility item, really.
Tell you that it's much more difficult to use if everyone forgets to do it. From experience.
Well, we just won't forget to do it.
I think you have access to Tour's character sheet already.
I did not when I checked earlier, but I'll check again.
Well,
How much was that?
oh, maybe not. Observer.
It was like 26,000. Is that what it was?
The
Yeah, it's expensive.
Ring of Spellstoring is 24,000 gold pieces.
24,000.
He has the Staff of the Ivory Claw as his third one, so like he has a pretty good setup for what he had. If he doesn't need anything that's
Sure.
attunement at least. But
Who would keep the Ring of Spell Storing and like?
I mean, when it's not, I have an empty attunement slot, but I don't think I'm the only one that has an empty attunement slot.
You very well might be.
Tor. Tor.
I thought you said Tor had all three.
Tor
filled.
has the Staff of the Ivory Claw, which
I also don't have all 3 filled.
Yeah.
But I would if I picked up
let's
the
see.
Staff of Healing.
Staff of Ivory.
I think I'm just gonna keep the bow, guys.
That's
It's not the Staff of the Ivory Claw is not bad for him either. Like, honestly, it's made for a warlock.
Yeah, except that like it's a staff and he has to like manage what
Man.
he's holding.
He also
Just-
he can't cast in.
No,
range
I know
anyway,
that, but
so
he can normally drop rage and then also cast a spell. But if he wants to get this advantage, he has to kind of drop rage, switch out what he's got equipped, and then like he'll probably never do that. He'll either go into the combat as a ranged person,
Yeah.
taking advantage of
But
it, or
that's-
not.
I wasn't even suggesting that he would switch it, but it's more that he has the options, is what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
He would decide to do this for this. If he's spellcasting, it's good for him. If he's not spellcasting, he doesn't need it. But he's in his other mode at that point.
All right, so who
Yeah,
Anyway.
he does. And I hear you, but he does frequently like make the decision to drop rage in order to cast spells because he has no other ranged options.
It's just as difficult as getting any other spellcasting focus he would need to get. It should be, at least it should be, if you're gonna, right?
Oh, I mean, if he needs a focus, sure.
Yeah, that's
You don't need a
That's-
focus for Eldritch Blast though, which is
yeah. Then
what he would be
then,
doing.
Then it doesn't. And that point, then it would still be a thing that he could. I agree. I'm just saying I don't know what to look for him because he has the things that he kind of looks. I
Yeah.
don't know where to look for him.
I don't
is
know.
what I'm
I
saying.
would say, I mean, if it were me, I would say that even just like a Ring of Protection would do him more in the long run than the Staff of the Ivory Claw. But I don't want to make that decision for him. What was?
Who
Yeah, go
who
ahead.
all has? I have a suggestion about purchasing order, and I also have a thing that we might want to consider, see if we can find as a party. I think that whoever has unused attunement slots, we should definitely get those filled. So whoever has that, we should find an item that would fill that attunement slot, just so we have that covered. Additionally, it might be the case that if we could find, I don't know if this exists in the world, but I know that we don't have like a magnificent mansion sort of thing, like a safe place to sleep. If there is a place that we could do that, or like if there's an item that we could get that would do that, that would be interesting.
Yeah. So, okay. Two things that I remembered. One of you should probably go and have the chest that the gold came in, the platinum came in, appraised.
Praise.
That's true.
Second, Dornstag, did you sell the golden shield that Ubtao gave you?
Mm-mm.
I have not yet. No.
Do you have that gold value written down next to it?
I am gonna say extremely unlikely that I do. Let me see.
Was it like 5,000?
I could go back and check the stream because I
I
also
think it
don't
was
remember.
more than 5,000.
I just have.
Of course you do.
Made
Of course you
of
think that.
solid gold. That's all I have written. So I guess it sort of depends on how big a shield it is.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
25,000?
I could go and see how much the chest is. Get the chest appraised on the Street of Silver, which I
Okay.
assume has
Yeah.
a lot of.
Make a charisma check.
Can I also have him have the gold appraised or weighed or whatever?
Sure,
The gold
sure.
shield.
Okay, you say charisma?
Mhm.
7. I would like to use.
Psionic die.
Yeah. Or if someone wanted to come along, give me.
I mean, I will say, I guess if it's my shield, I probably have walked with you to get it appraised. But
Before I roll the die, I will let the DM make his decision.
yeah,
I'm gonna
Advantage
say
or no?
yeah, no. No
Okay.
advantage on this one.
Okay.
fair enough.
Hey, 13.
13 total?
Yep.
Okay. For the chest, you find you go to a couple places, get a couple of offers. They all seem relatively reasonable, but you do find a vendor who's willing to pay you 5,000 for it.
Okay. And for the shield?
The shield, just in pure gold value, it's worth about 1,200 gold, but because of the craftsmanship of it, it's like worth a little bit more as an art piece than its pure weight. And I would say you could get about 2,000 for it.
Okay. Do we sell these things, gentlemen?
I have no use for a gold shield, so
Okay.
it's
I
soft
will-
metal and it's heavy.
I was
So
like, I don't think that. I think that would then if I like go like see if I did. Oh, that'd be a bad idea. If I were to hit it.
I will sell those things for the combined 7,000 gold,
7,000 gold.
and have
Add
that
that
added
to your
party
total.
funds.
Mhm.
Party funds.
so
think
now we
Will's-
have 77,000.
I think you had some gold before. Am I
Yeah.
mistaken?
Some of us did, yeah.
Okay.
Not a whole lot. And
So
Alright,
party
I mean-
funds, you're at 77, right?
yeah, we did not have any gold in this party did not have any in the bag before this.
Right.
Mhm.
Correct.
All right. So
Oh, I have a pair of gold dentures as well.
I
I
don't.
want to keep them. I want to keep
Okay.
them. I don't care.
Oh, okay.
they're
It's like,
they're
I-
from the tomb. I want them.
So
Uh,
before we
I
go looking for like consumable things, does anybody have anything else they want to thing, or should we
Yeah,
start deciding
I'd like
what to buy?
I'd like to get the quote on. I didn't actually ask the price on the manta ray. I did not realize it didn't require attunement, so that piques my interest for at least someone in the party at least to have.
What is it made?
Yeah. The cloak
Uh,
of the manta
manta
ray.
ray.
It makes your swimming speed 60. You can use an action to pull the hood up and you can breathe underwater.
I assume we are not going for the Ring of Spellstoring because
No.
it's too expensive.
We
Oh.
probably
That-
can.
Honestly,
We have like
yeah.
77,000 gold.
I just was saying, I just didn't know how everyone else felt about it.
I would
No, we're
like.
just-
I
we're
would
just trying
like
to
between
appraise the
5 and
situation.
10 of those arrows.
Okay. The cloak of the
But
manta ray
that-
is worth 6,000 gold.
Another question I had is there a craftsman who's able to improve flame tongue in any way?
It would be You ask around to a couple of the places that are selling +1, +2, very finely crafted weapons, and the general consensus is that it's very difficult to modify a magical weapon once it's forged, and you run the risk of there are very few
Destroying
artisans willing to do it because it's very risky to tamper with the enchantment on it. Great personal risk. It could just explode, basically.
Fair enough.
You do get a recommendation from a gentleman on Sword Street. Yeah, no, I sure wouldn't work on it, but I tell you, there's a madman lives down the street. Hardly ever comes out. He has his apprentice bring out all of his work to sell at market. He's got a workshop down in the cul-de-sac. He very well may be able to help you with it. But I can't promise anything.
All right, I gotta go find out what this guy's all about.
Okay. As you're all
Bell,
kind of...
Matt,
yeah,
this
go
way, are you going by yourself, or are we all going with you?
Anybody's welcome to join me. This isn't a secret. I'm trying to get a better weapon. That's
Well, Bell will call, or Mathis will call it and say, ask if they, can you see if they like can help with armor too? Because I like my armor, but like it's +1, or it's just slightly magical. I'd like it to be really magical. I don't really know.
well, Mathis, I imagine this gentleman would want to see.
Okay, fine.
So why don't you come along, act as a model for him?
Mathis
Or
just
her,
eats the
I
chicken and
probably should
follows
say.
Dorn.
Okay. So two of you make your way down Sword Street and to
Oh.
this
I wanted to go
workshop.
to.
Okay, as the three of you make your way down, so anyone else going?
How much was
I
the
will-
Vorpal sword before we get into this? I'm just trying to make a list of the things that we were interested in.
How much was the Vorpal sword?
Yeah.
It was 28,000 gold pieces.
Okay.
Is what was quoted.
Sid, I put the prices in there as I remember it in the Discord.
Okay.
Please feel free to correct me if I was wrong. I'm just going off of memory, just trying to keep a list.
Okay. That looks right.
I
That looks right.
don't think I need to go.
Okay. As you make your way down Sword Street to this workshop here at the end of the cul-de-sac, there is a large, like the front corner of the building, the front left corner is just this pane of mica glass. It's almost impossible to penetrate with your eyes. It's purely reflective, but it's got like kind of dark smoky color, and you can see forge fires within picked out as like a low cherry glow, and occasionally they're blackened by somebody walking in front of them, but it's impossible to make out details inside. Smoke billows up out of the top of the workshop, and you can hear the sound of iron clanging together. It sounds as if 3 or 4 people are working inside this workshop by the cadence and the rhythm of the hammers striking. As you make your way to underneath the small covered portico to the front door, it's bolted. You can see on this side where there are the bolts that would hold like the shackle bolt, and there's 3 or 4 of them. And then there's like a little sliding window. As you knock, you were distracting me, I'm sorry.
I do that.
So distracting.
Wink.
Exactly. As you knock, a couple moments pass, and the wood slides by. A hooded figure is beyond the door, peering out at you. You can see one glossy eye peering out, cyclopean, from beneath the hood.
Hey!
Hello!
How are you?
Hi. We have a couple of items that we thought that your master might be able to look at and perhaps improve for us.
The great artisan is very busy today.
Yeah, but
We-
we're really cool.
We have coin.
I also have a nice eye. I'll point to the monocle.
I will see if he... What are you... Is it something challenging? Something interesting?
We're
Um,
trying to have people
I-
work on our magical items.
I am led to believe that it's very challenging to improve a magical item once it's been enchanted. Dorn will pull out Flame Tongue and ignite it, and say, I'd very much appreciate if he could take a look at this, and he'll like extinguish it and sheath it again, remembering the pamphlet that says that if you brandish a weapon inappropriately, there are consequences for
There are
that. So
consequences, indeed.
Oh,
And Mathis will say, also, I have one-of-a-kind armor made out of a beast that makes you turn into shadows. That, see if you could make it better.
And
The window
Oh.
closes.
I'm holding it. Okay.
A couple of moments pass. You two can make Arcana checks.
Arcana checks. I'm so good at Arcana as a fighter.
17.
Okay.
9.
All right.
I'll have my little die if DM does deems.
No, that's a success in this case. I'm gonna pull the picture. You do recognize the creature beneath the robes. even in the dim shadows. Just pull up a picture.
I have a feature called Artificer's Lore. I always forget it. It's irrelevant to my backstory, so I forget that it's there. This with history checks, though.
With
It's like stone cutting for magic items, like magical tinkering
yeah,
stuff.
I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
You're good. This creaker.
Oh, that's cool.
Wait, it hasn't shown up for me.
I only shared it with Jonathan.
Oh, that's right, because he's the only one who succeeded. Got it. Okay.
Do I know what this is?
Oops. I also just closed Foundry.
How dare you?
Yes, you know what this is. It is you would know that it is a monodrome. It is a creature from the outer plane of Mechanus.
Never thought I would see one of those.
I think you
Ever.
did see one in. I think you saw several in the tomb.
Yeah.
Outside the hallway that eats all your gear.
Oh, that's because I blocked that entire session out of my mind.
Ah,
It
I see.
connects
I
to
see.
the room that made you smart.
I
does,
remember
if I
that,
remember correctly.
but I also
Yeah.
just tried not to remember the part before that where I lost all of my nice things.
Indeed. So, a couple moments pass before it opens again. You're in luck. The master will see you now. Please show respect.
Yeah, sure.
You hear the wood slide close, and then you hear what sounds like perhaps a stool that the small creature is standing on to reach the vision port being dragged out of the way.
Mathis just finished his chicken on a stick. He puts the stick in his pocket. Not gonna let it today. No, no, no.
And open the door. You can see this very short creature. Fully, he looks like a Jawa, basically. Fully hooded.
Okay.
And you're just like pulling the door open. Please follow me. Close the door behind you. He turns around and starts.
Dorn will step in and start following.
Mathis is...
Bale, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was under the impression that only Dorn and Mathis came.
And Vale
Yeah.
was there too, I think.
Oh,
I
okay.
hadn't said anything. I said that I was coming too, but it's fine also to cut me. I was fine to get cut off too.
Oh, okay. So the
It
three
was-
of you
it was
enter.
It was a fun cinematic moment at the time.
So the three of you enter. One of you closing the door behind you, I suppose. It is hot in here. To your left, there is another wall that is made of just this mica. You can kind of see a little bit better because the sunlight isn't kind of creating that dynamic from in here. You can see a little bit better through the smoky glass to the workshop beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And as you walk down the hall, these two glass doors slide apart, and within the workshop, bellows are just kind of on their own, keeping these forges red hot. There's a man standing behind an enormous steel-plated workbench. He is working on. He has short blonde hair that is slicked back. He has muscular-looking arms that have these like metallic lines that seem to run down the length of them and between all the fingers. And he is, you can only see him from the waist up, basically, in this room as he's working. He has this pair of monocles that are like brought down in front of his face. Well, I'm led to
Hi.
believe you have something of interest.
I'm Mathis.
If you insist, you may call me Isaac.
Dorn will not say anything. He will just pull out Flame Tongue and ignite it, and hold it in front of him and say, "Do you think you could improve this for me?"
Do you think you could afford it?
We have coin.
May I hold it?
Of course. I will extinguish it and hand it to him, hilt first.
Okay. As he reaches out, his hand splits, and his arm all the way to the elbow. These two fingers split off, and these two, and they are metallic on the inside and mechanical. And so he has these two kind of pincher-like appendages that grab the weapon, all on one arm. You can see now, he's observing, he's flicked up these glasses. You can see his eyes, although your players have no context for this, but his eyes are like apertures, like from a camera lens, rather than like irises. Yes, I could improve it. If you have the time to wait.
Okay. Well, let us talk specifics then. How long will you need, and what sort of compensation would you expect for a project such as this?
A day. 15. He hands it back.
15,000
gold pieces.
I see. Okay. And what sort of improvements, might I ask?
I can very much improve the efficiency of the energy dissipation. Remove that silly bit of bronze at the end, he says, pointing to the whole length of the blade. And all in all, vastly improve the heat transfer.
Excellent. My companion here, Mathesis, also had a piece that he thought that you might be interested in.
Yeah, this armor. It's made out of a creature that we killed. It's already pretty good. It can make me disappear, and I assume it's kind of dim in here.
Oh yes, it's quite dim.
And
Almost hard for you to see.
I will see if I can activate the effect of it.
Okay, you do so. Ah, I see. Or rather, don't. He comes around from behind. You hear as you see as he comes around from behind the workbench. From the waist down, he is basically a mechanical spider, a four-legged mechanical spider.
That's so fucking cool.
That's so cool. It reminds me of Daedalus a little bit.
It's funny you should say that. Because in my version of the world, Daedalus is trained by this guy originally before he comes to modern magic. This guy is actually quite old in the canon of D&D that I'm playing.
This is an NPC that's been in every campaign that I've ever been in.
Yeah, he shows up all over the place. So as he comes around and begins observing you, even though you're still invisible, he kind of knows where you're at and begins like. His other hand also splits out now for a total of 4. He's just like pressing all these pressure points.
Hey, ooh! Stop!
This is near the end of its magical potency. Powerful though it is, it's quite well crafted. I could perhaps add a mithril backing or adamantine, increase the protection it provides, but I would not be able to offer any additional features.
How about something really interesting? And Matsis will produce the Mindmaster's monocle.
This is no ordinary trinket. Yes, I could improve it. I cannot tell you what it would do.
No way to know without further experimentation.
What would be your prize? Your
10.
time.
A day.
And the armor?
Half day. 6.
We may very well return.
And also my compatriot Vale, headed
He,
high.
he
Vale,
looks
you're
around
here.
as if, yeah, he looks around and stunned there's someone else.
Yeah.
He gives a sigh. Yes. Yes, and what have you for me?
I hold out the Jade Jaguar. So I have this figurine. It's pretty wonderful. It can turn into a Jack. Yeah, I let him hold it.
A jungle cat.
I just wanted to be around a bit longer. I know how sometimes it means they can. It takes longer to recharge, but that's fine for me too. It's weird, only a minute with it. It reminds me of other stuff. It's hard to. I don't want to share personal stuff. I'm sorry. I've just met you.
Indeed, I'd rather you didn't.
Thank you.
Certainly. A day. 8,000.
It's good to know.
Very well. I think we shall conference with our other compatriots. Make sure that these terms are agreeable.
Very well, yes. Just, if you do return, there's no reason to bother me. You can pass your items and your payment to Uno. Thank you.
Bye!
He steps around, back, begins working again. Please follow me.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dorn shows himself out, but I guess I'll follow.
Yeah. He leads you back out and closes the door behind you.
Just want Uno to follow us around, like Bob did.
Oh, Bob the Skull.
Once the door closes, I'll turn to Vale and Mathesis and say, I think this gentleman has quite a bit to offer. I would very much like to see what sorts of things he can do with Flame Tongue.
Oh yeah, no, that sounds awesome. I want to come back to him too. We don't need to do this for the mission. That was more for if we succeed in the future.
Well, let's meet back up with everyone and
Yeah.
talk over our finances. I think most of this should be pretty doable.
Absolutely.
All right.
And
As
so we
you
head back up
ultimately
the
reconvene.
Street of Swords.
Yeah. With the rest of the party, Alucard is kind of staring longingly into the open doors to an inn where it seems that there's a pair of tourists sitting at the bar, even this early in the day, sampling a flight of beers from imported from all across the Sword Coast. Alucard's just
All right, so Mathesis says, taking out a book that he's been writing down prices in. For the things that I was interested in, if I get this armor improved, I won't need the leather armor because I get it for half price. So that's pretty interesting. So that kind of marks that off. All the things beforehand were equal to 71,000, which kind of is within our budget, but I could even take that farther off. I don't know how many arrows you were thinking about getting again.
Between 5 and 10, so 4 to 8,000.
All right. I could get. I don't have to get the Das Sitar.
Cittern.
Cittern? What is that?
Cittern.
Cittern. Okay, curious.
I don't know, Jerry. What is a cittern?
It's like a.
It's the thing that like it sits on your lap. It's a string instrument. It just sits on your lap.
It's basically a lute.
Yeah. Like,
Just
or is
different.
it the
No,
really
not a
big
zither.
No. I've got it. It's this right here. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh no.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is that the really large one?
No, it's got a. I'm setting.
Maybe a
picture.
sitar. A sitar is a really large one, maybe.
Yeah,
Sitar.
sitar it is. This is a Saturn.
Yep. 8,000 Veils thing.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
remember what. All right, I don't necessarily need to do this in character.
Yeah.
It might be, it might be easier to discuss this without that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd definitely be interested in having Flame Tongue improved.
Okay.
So that was
instead
15,000.
instead of the Vorpal Sword.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, for a couple reasons. Above table, then Sid doesn't have to like redo the animation.
Well-
For Vorpal Sword.
Yeah.
instead of a Flame Tongue.
So let's say we
Yeah.
definitely do Flame Tongue improvement. We definitely do Ring of Spell Storing for Homeboy.
Alucard?
Alucard. Alucard.
Yeah. How much was that one again?
That's 24.
I think it's worth it, honestly.
I mean, I do too. We definitely want. Let's say, okay, so Staff of Healing for Veil for sure. Is that
Yeah.
okay? Is there an AJ thing?
I had just finally something clicked. Something for boots, like movement, anything that could help with him there.
There were boots of levitation.
Those just they literally can you can go up or down.
Levitate doesn't. Yeah.
Oh,
You can't like
it's not
move
like
around.
boots
It's
of
not like
flying.
floating. No, boots of levitation.
I see.
They're really good for like archers because you have like you can get up away from melee fighters and just
Snipe.
yeah, but you cannot like move around. You can only up or
Yeah,
down.
that makes sense. I gotcha. Okay.
Well, he can give himself a climb speed, so boots of climbing probably wouldn't be the best either. Are there like boots of swiftness?
Yeah, I was
Swifty
gonna say
boots.
boots of speed or
Hold on. Let me see.
Or could he find boots of flying?
Hermes boots. They look like Air Jordans, but they have little wings on the end of them.
Yeah, so they're I'm fine with there being a pair of boots of speed.
What's the damage on them?
Boots of speed are 6,000.
Okay.
And how much would the Staff of the Ivory Claw trade for?
Good question. It's not in my little thing here because
It's
yeah. Let me just see something similar.
plus one with a critical effect.
Yeah, you could get 3,000 for it.
So that should be. We should have saved 3,000 somewhere
Okay.
for this trade for AJ, just in case he does want to do that.
Okay, so I'm not adding that
And-
right now.
Yeah. And that also he might not be interested in it at all.
Okay.
That was just my first thought was like, movement is a thing that he doesn't like to do.
Okay. So we've got Ring of Spell Storing, or just right now, Ring of Spell Storing, Flame Tongue Improvement, Staff of Healing, the Manta Ray Cloak. Is that a?
It's not a hard yes, but it's
Okay.
if we have
If we have the extra.
if we have extra, then
It's a non-attunement item that gives you a
Yeah.
swim speed and water breathing.
Right.
I was also interested in the Helm of Comprehend Languages, but I could foot that myself out of my own personal funds
Yeah, it's not
if there's not
terribly
enough
expensive.
left over.
Okay. Well, right now we're at 52. I would love 16 for the improvements for, because I wanted to get the +2 leather armor for the AC, but it looks like I can get that
Mhm.
with the shadow armor stuff for 6, which is a great deal. And then
Yeah, it's
10.
upgrading. Your shadow
For
your shadow armor is already +1. Okay.
And then my Master Monocle improvement for 10. If we did that, that'd put us at 68. And then
So we got 9 left over.
yeah, we could get Eken some of those arrows.
I already know what my first blood is going to be too.
So if we got Eken, oh sorry.
How much could we sell a ring of jumping for?
Oh yeah.
Ring of jumping. Let me consult the manual. Consult the ancient Jedi texts. Jumping. Star Wars has been all over the TV, and I really don't like the last 3 ones because they really did Luke dirty. Ring of
Yeah.
jumping.
You and I got so accustomed to the EU, Luke. It's hard to see our boy.
Yeah, the European
So
Union
dejected.
Luke, it's much better across the.
Okay. All right.
Oh yes, quite.
Yeah,
Muppet
2000.
Special Luke was the best Luke. We all
Come to
know.
my academy, please. Oh, except for not anymore. That's status post Brexit. So.
Ooh.
Yeah. They come to my
No,
academy.
You still come to my academy. But you gotta pay me in pounds.
2000.
To my academy.
2000.
Okay.
Gold pieces for the ring of jumping.
Do you want to sell that?
Yeah, we should just go. That's been sitting there
All right.
since
nobody's
before
seen
the
that.
tomb.
So that's 79. Let's everybody just take a glance at your
And it's an akin item. Do you still want the Moon Touch longsword?
Oh
It's a-
no! I can
okay.
also sell my longbow.
Yeah, okay. Moon touched. Moon
Oh, we also have a
Also-
cloak of the Winterlands.
Yeah, it comes in handy every now and then. That's fine.
Okay.
You get 500 gold for the Moon Touch longsword.
Okay.
okay. So we're at 79.5. We could I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can sell. All right. So we could get how many? We wanted to save 3K for.
Did we go by and pick up the other sending stone from Zendar?
I think
We
we.
brought it to the Black
Yeah,
Cat.
he brought it.
Yeah, we have it.
So did we want to keep and use those? They're really useful, or we could sell them.
I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm
figured,
good with.
I figured we got them together so we could use them, and then we
Yeah.
didn't keep them
I
as
agree.
well, which we could have.
Okay.
we could have done.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Um,
Also, I don't really feel like I wanted to leave it with Esfil anyway.
No.
we could. You wanted how many arrows you can?
I mean, if we
We're
can
at
afford it,
68,
I'll
so
take
that'd be-
10. I mean, it's 60, 10.
Yeah.
Extra
So-
damage to the. It basically gives me favorite enemy, but like on steroids.
So that's plus 8. So we're at 76.
And we can actually split those. I mean, I think we should get like 10 for the party, but they don't need to live with one person. We have
Mhm.
3 bow users.
And that
Yeah,
leaves
so
us
keep in mind they
with-
have to be primed,
Mhm.
and then you'll have to keep them separate to know what they're
Right.
the slayer of. And specifically note that. And then there's no guarantee that you'd be able to collect necessarily the arrow after firing it, but there's the possibility.
So if we got 10 arrows, that puts us at 76. That leaves us 3 for Tor.
That's exactly what we needed, right?
I guess you're just what I needed.
But if that's exactly what, like, this is again with us deciding that's what he might want. So there's
Yeah.
that.
True. I mean, only with, keeping in mind that
yeah.
like 3,000 is much less than his fair share
That's true.
of 70,000 out of how many players? 6.
Yeah.
But just saying.
I'm just saying, this
I
is
mean,
a.
I'm only using 8.
There's a give and take. I mean, Alucard's taking more than his fair share, but he's gonna effectively have an additional spell slot.
Yeah.
Or the cool thing about Ring of Spell Storing is that basically like
With another
Vale
flame,
can
I could
cast
have
a
an- yeah,
5th
I
level
could have-
Cure
yeah.
Wounds into Alucard's ring, and then if Alucard had to cast that, he could cast 5th level Cure Wounds.
And he
Um,
wouldn't be casting a sorcerer spell.
Let's also be aware of the important part. It's so that he doesn't. So he gets the 5th level cure wound, so he doesn't have to use the flask.
Flask.
It's the grand scheme here.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right, so team, have we pretty much made a decision?
I think so. I am also out of my own personal funds gonna buy the Helm of Comprehend Languages.
Okay.
Since it's
Um,
not attuned.
Yes. So this helm is more like a band. It's like a it's like a silver band inlaid with
Like
slate.
a circlet kind of
Yes,
thing.
a circlet. Yeah. But so it's silver on top and bottom, and then there's a slate interior all the way around, and there are these etchings that just constantly like
that's sweet.
scratch onto the slate and rewrite and write over themselves and like kind of ring around the circlet.
Nice. Trying to import it, but it does not want to do it.
Yes.
And
the-
out of my personal funds, I'm going to buy the what you call it? Crossbow, hand crossbow.
The hand crossbow, 4,080.
And some
Is that
bolts.
+3?
+2.
I have +4.
Okay.
Um,
I
how
think that we're
much
gonna
would-
have to wait to put anything into the sheets right now. Just as a heads up,
Why?
because of the. Oh, never mind. You have to close it. If you're having that same problem, Cameron, you have to close and come back in. It's working now.
Oh, I see. Because
Reload,
Remember,
'cause I-
there was a
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I forgot that I
closed.
didn't actually do
Alright,
that.
yeah.
I thought that I did.
refresh. I see. Okay. Yep.
how much would like 20 bolts cost me?
Just like regular ass bolts.
I mean, I don't know if there's fancy bolts. Did you say something, Sid?
No, but I will.
Regular bolts by the book are 20 or 1 gold piece for 20.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's go import some stuff, huh?
All right. Well, with that being said, so you do return to Isaac's workshop and remit to him
Yes. Yeah.
25,000 gold and 31,000 gold.
I did not take the if that 31 is including the
It does not
Okay.
include Vale's thing.
Jaguar. Okay, so I was looking at the numbers.
Remit to him 31,000 gold and the Flame Tongue, the Mind Master's monocle, and the Queen of Murk leather armor.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh yeah.
for 2.5 days of work.
We should be in town for.
Yeah.
We can be in town for 2.5 days.
Yeah.
Okay. It is noted. With that being said, while we're kind of cleaning up our character sheets, preparing for a couple of days, enjoying Waterdeep, I am gonna go ahead and sign off for the stream tonight. I'm not necessarily gonna leave you guys in case and keep Foundry up so we can talk about getting this stuff onto your character sheets. But since most of this is kind of custodial, we will take care of that off stream. And yeah. So, thank you all for tuning in. We will not be playing next week.
What?
Yeah.
There's
We all have an important thing that we're going to do. But
I mean,
Hey.
do we?
A previous engagement, some might say.
it's what some might say. It's
Uh,
previous engagement. But-
I definitely didn't cry just writing my stuff down.
Yeah, yes, you did. Yes, you did. So, we'll catch all of you guys in the interwebs 2 weeks from now. Same time, same place. Have a good one.
Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye.
Next time on the 11th Ornament.